This is Michael Cesario. I'm the program coordinator for the Madison Scouts. And we get to watch their 2005 program tonight. It's called The Carmen Project. As usual, great response from the crowd. It's a love affair that's gone on for many a year. As you can see, a few changes in the uniform for this year. There's Stephen Smith, our drum major. He's from Orlando. It's a wonderful idea for the Scouts because it takes some of the famous operatic themes and blends them with popular and jazzy interpretations. So it kind of gives us the best of the Scouts, but also shows a great deal of content. As we start, we're going to see two different gangs, and the gangs are in blue and in green, so you can keep them apart. And what happens, there's John, Gavin, Martine, Ortiz, Martine in the green. We see the blue gang and the green gang, and the idea here is that it's a streetscape. You can't see all of the gang members yet. It's like they're hanging out in doorways and so on, and suddenly something moves, away they go. Drummers take center stage. This is the introduction that allows us to hear and see the basic theme, guys being pulled apart. Great little feature for the percussion. Whistles and sirens start setting off the main idea. Blue against green. No, they don't come together. The cityscape comes between them, and off they go. This sets up the big introductory hit. It's the Fate theme. We're going to hear it a bunch of times before the night's done. Also sets up the idea that this color guard's going to dance through the show. And off we go. What this is going to set up is a piece called We Own the Streets. And We Own the Streets really is kind of you stay on your side of town, I'll stay on my side of town. The twain won't meet, and in fact the drill was written in such a way as that the blues and the greens don't come together for a long period of time. Kind of Madison sound, and then it starts picking apart little themes out of Carmen. Notice the integration of the color guard into the entire show. They're in there, they're part and parcel of how it's all put together. Once again, the environment comes between the two gangs. A lot of little things like this where it's big groups, different textures down front, and then you get to see different textures on the field, so it works really great. One of the great things about the new rules that allow amplification is we can use things like hand claps and castanets. And of course, great double tonguing. And then the famous Madison mojo. Knees step forward and hips are thrust, and away we go. One of the great things about this piece was we were able to combine moments that remind you of Madison past and yet give you a sense of the future with a lot of content, a lot of intriguing ideas. Blue flags are picked up by the blue gang. Here comes the green in answer to them. And a big full field opening idea. Huge sets. Now it all starts coming together. Notice that blue and green is still divided. Pulls together tighter and tighter and faster. It's a good response. You can see they worked to keep that going through that entire time. Now the idea completely changes. It's a piece called Carmen Revealed. Chimes ring out, and we hear her little theme, bits and pieces of it. Blues and greens still apart. And now it starts snaking up and snaking together. And down the 50 comes this little lot of dancing guys. In there is Carmen, wonderful, wonderful performer from Wisconsin, actually, Rebecca Hirschman. And a little costume change in there. They literally rip stuff off of her so that there she is suddenly. She looks at John, she looks at Martine, and the conflict is set up. This is great. These are called the dances of temptation. And in fact, she dances first with John. And then our focus comes down to the trumpets at Madison. You expect them to be high, and you expect them to be strong, and they always are. Now she switches to Martine. Notice how the color guard hides. So 1 minute they're all on stage, and the next second they're off completely. Yeah. That's one of those feature moments you just love happening. You notice that heart shape comes and goes. If you were in the overhead, you would see it happen all the time. These guys start flying. This is a piece called Cubano Mambo. After kind of tempting both sides, she brings them both together. Each of the sides starts showing off for Carmen. Here again, notice the dance being part of it. They'll use equipment later to show off for her. Drums coming through these trumpets. Splits. Almost sounds like Latin playing for sure. And a little swing chorus here. And then a hint of Mr. Bernstein. A famous mambo for certain. So we get that urban sound, and we use a lot of West Side Story throughout the show, intermixed with the Carmen. A few little tricks. As she shenays across the front, we get a little entry in the More Note Sweepstakes. A little bit of Mambo. And then away they go. They've joined forces, blue and green, blue and green, blue and green. She's brought them together. A little bit of Copacabana in there. Music and passion are always in fashion here. Adam plays his solo, and away we go. Both sides are spinning together, going to town. Even at the end of this, little quote of Malagueña, famous Madison piece. But even then, the conflict isn't over. Right down front, there they are. They've been in a fight even to the end of this. This time, it's not playing around. This time, it's not for fun. It's for real. And the knives come out. Knives and chains. Street fight to the tunes of Rumble, bit of Carmen. And once again, the idea of a streetscape, a cityscape, in which people are trapped, people walk through the blocks, people pass through the windows. That's how the drums are trapped inside and then shrink down to nothing. They'll come through these like they're buildings, see? Three guys looking for trouble, and they miss it behind them. Of course, chorus flying around backwards. She cannot keep them separated, and the walls of the city start closing in. The guys are literally scrambling for their lives, down to the two of them. We call this fade to black. And there she is. Her end comes exactly where she joined us. Blood red signifying her demise. Center field. As fast as she came to us, she goes away. Bits of Somewhere and her entry tune, both together, blended together. John and Martine again. Even in grief, the Fate theme played backfield. And now, for the first time, we see flags of red. There's been no red in the show at all except what she's worn. So what happens is more and more red come on, and you hear a little bit of Bolero in the background. All of this is brand new for finals week, by the way. We decided to shorten the big finale so we'd get to the big Fate theme in much stronger form. A recapitulation of the dance motif and the Fate motif, and the danger of the whistles and the sirens. It runs, and then there's a reverse concentration. Watch as they actually stop. So the thing forms and freezes, forms and freezes, forms and freezes. Boom! And the final theatrical chord, all red flags. It's like the curtain coming down on the opera. Wow. Wow. These guys love performing because of that crowd. They live for that crowd. They perform for that crowd. And you can see the energy, power it takes to make that happen every night. We hope you enjoyed the 2005 show. We love doing it.